The federal government is pressing forward with its firearm buyback program, but Saskatchewan is not taking part. CBC's Alexander Kwan has been following this story. He joins us now from our Regina newsroom. So Alexander, first off, what exactly is the federal firearm buyback program?
So since 2020, the federal government has banned 2,500 assault-style firearm models. Now, the assault-style firearms compensation program is the government's solution to people who own these firearms that were once considered legal but are now prohibited. And it essentially allows people to hand in their banned models for money. Now, Saskatchewan refuses to enforce or participate in this program, and it's actually introduced its own legislation in order to make sure people are fully compensated. Now, Public Safety Canada says if the amendments impede or limit the process for compensation, owners will not be compensated, even if they do declare their firearms. Now, they are encouraging the province to provide their residents with the option of seeking compensation, but it does leave people in Saskatchewan between a rock and a hard place because right now they aren't going to get any money even if they do declare their firearms.
Now, you've spoken with one gun owner in Saskatchewan. What does he think about all this?
William Prohordorma has 3 firearms that he can get money for. Now, he wanted to stress that he doesn't support the federal buyback program, but he does want to comply with the law.
Rather than break the law just for having them, I figured I'd take part. Maybe I could actually get a little bit of money back on something that I purchased from a licensed retailer, paid taxes on, and have been in legal possession of for years.
So Saskatchewan Firearms Officer Robert Freeberg says he's launching 2 initiatives to help gun owners in this province. The first is going to be an online portal to provide appraisal for all firearms, ammunition, and accessories affected by the federal legislation. He also says he'll be allowing the Provincial Firearms Office, which he runs, to collect and store firearms on behalf of owners who wish to voluntarily turn them in. Now, he stresses he's not seizing these guns. He's merely going to be holding them while the gun owners try and secure compensation from the federal government. Prohordorma thinks this is ridiculous. He doesn't like the federal program. He doesn't believe it's going to work, but says for Saskatchewan to go its own way and implement a process that is essentially going to end with him still having to hand over his firearms is beyond frustrating. Now, he does admit once the province launches its storage program, he'll begrudgingly turn his firearms over.
So why is the provincial government so resistant to the federal program?
Well, it's a lot about political ideology and a belief that they are looking out for law-abiding firearms owners now, and as well as securing full compensation for those people. Now, under the federal program, gun owners have until March 31st to declare that they are now in possession of these firearms. There is a pool of almost $250 million that will compensate those who take part in the federal buyback. Now, that's calculated to pay for about 136,000 outlawed firearms from individual Canadians, and it's going to be administered on a first-come, first-served basis. Now, the province says they have done the math, and that's not enough for every gun owner in Saskatchewan to be compensated, let alone all of Canada. That's why they've introduced their provincial legislation, which is meant to ensure that that does happen.